also deep mid-wicket. As here comes Rees again. That's a lovely shot through the covers by Leaning, who lived up to his name in playing it. Picks up a single, 70 for 3.
You know, if there's any youngsters here today watching these two bat and form a partnership, if you look at a low risk, high reward perspective, they're rotating the strike beautifully, timing the ball away.
His next ball is full and wide of off stump. Tattersall picks up 1.
And effectively playing to their strengths, aren't they? So, and they're going at almost 10 and over. You know, they're playing some fantastic cricket. It's a really good blueprint in terms of how to play cricket. Batsmanship, I would call it, Deutsche. Fantastic batsmanship from the pair.
So Rees, 3 off his first 3 deliveries, is in again. That's wide off stump. Played down to short fine leg by Jack Leaning, who got right across and worked it nicely off his legs. So 15 apiece, the batsman, 72 for 3. 2 left in the 7th. And it's one of those where the colleagues at club matches saying, change nothing out there, lads, to the 2 batsmen. As Tattersall gets underneath this one and chips it over the top of the man who's at backward point. And again they get through for 2 more. So 6 off the bowler so far of his first 5 deliveries. 74 for 3. And Rees turns again at the end of his run. Sun shining brightly here at Emerald Headingley. He's round the wicket once more. Tattersall gets it away to extra cover this time, but can't get it beyond the fielder. So half a dozen off the over. Derbyshire will be happy enough with that. Yorkshire have managed to get a few on the ball without losing a wicket, so both sides happy enough with the way things have gone there. 74 for 3.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right, Deutsche. You know, in club cricket, someone will be shouting from the pavilion, change nothing, lad, change nothing out there, keep going the way you are. And that's actually exactly what the 2 batters need to do at this point, isn't it? They don't need to do anything else. Keep rotating the strike, keep timing the ball away, playing to their strengths, know where their boundary options are when it's there, and ensure that they execute their skills well. Nothing different.
Let's see what the Falcons have in response. They're going to turn to spin, and it's going to be Matt Critchley, who is going to come on from this pavilion end of the ground. 74 for 3 then, off 7. 58 for 2 was the Falcons score at the same point. Critchley in, and worked up to long on by Leaning, first ball of the over. They get a signal. Leaning up to 16.
Just looking at Critchley's stats here, best of 3 for 32, he's 24 wickets in his 42 matches, an economy of 8.46. So that tells the Yorkshire players he will give you the odd bad ball they can put away.
Here he is again. Reverse sweep attempted here by Tattersall. Is a big appeal for LBW, and he has gone. Trapped in front, Johnny Tattersall tried the reverse sweep. You have to make sure you hit it if you're going to play it. 75 for 4. Tattersall gone. LBW Critchley for 17 off 12.
Yeah, he's just trying to force it and be creative there. He's Tattersall, and he didn't quite execute the reverse sweep, did he? And unfortunately got hit on the pad. It took the umpire a little while to make that call, so I just wonder if there was a little bit of doubt. It's difficult to tell here from this angle, but as you say, Deutsche, if you play the reverse sweep, you really can't let it hit your pads, can you? Disappointing for Yorkshire because this partnership was building nicely, but enters into the arena Tim Bresnan.
Brezzy lad on his way out then to the middle, and well, we've seen the full force of Tim Bresnan, not particularly in this competition yet so far this season with the bat, but certainly used it to good effect at Edgbaston in one of the 50 over white ball games earlier in the season. Had it not been for he and David Willey down there, the tie probably would never have happened. What can he do in T20 then? Critchley into Bresnan, who works it off the hip first ball, and will get off the mark with a single. So 76 for 4 now, Yorkshire. back on to strike. Critchley. Preston-born Lancastrian. Next delivery is turned into the leg side for a single by leading 77 for 4. And Critchley working his way back to his mark then. Bresnan not out 1. 2 balls left in the 8th over of leg spin here from Critchley. Pulled his hand over the top of that one again. And that's now into the covers by Bresnan for a single, so just getting himself in. And a couple of singles, a few sighters. Be interesting to see what tactics Tim Bresnan and Jack Leaning apply together here. Leaning on strike, leans back and cuts this away. Off around about middle stump actually. Probably would have gone over the top of the stumps from Critchley. It's the end of the over. He rattled through that one, didn't he? 8 gone, 78 for 4.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at this and wondering how Yorkshire's going to play spin. We know when they played Lancashire here a few weeks ago at the Emerald Stadium, Headingley, that spin was a challenge in terms of scoring. You know, scoring boundaries and rotating the strike. We know against Birmingham Bears, the 2 spinners that they used on that day bowled really well against Yorkshire and pulled Yorkshire back. So how Yorkshire play spin today is going to be really important when you're chasing down 208.
We're going to see Rees continuing 6 off his first over. Funny, isn't it, how 1 over can change the complexion. Here is Rees in. It's an aerial shot through the covers by Bresnan, who's going to pick up a single. That takes himself onto 3, 79 for 4. But just a couple of overs ago, we were saying this were around a club ground. You could sort of hear the lads at the side, the batsman waiting to go in, maybe in the batting side, saying change nothing out there, lads. They'd got 6 off the over, but then 4 and a wicket off the next over, plus a different slant on that one before. As Leaning pushes his next delivery up to long off. Takes himself onto 18 with that one, and it's 80 for 4.
Yeah, those 2 overs have changed the game, haven't they? You know, the wicket and then the economy in the last over have just pulled the game back again in favour of the Falcons.
You have Rees coming in to Bresnan, but he's gone well wide of off stump to the former T20 World Cup winner. And that is a wide ball. Almost on the next pitch, really. It's about as wide as we've seen all day. So 9 of 8 deliveries from Rees. Bresnan sets and waits again, 81 for 4. 2 balls into the 9th. This is full, driven back over the bowler's head by Bresnan, who's got plenty on that. No chance for the man who was attempting to chase him down from long off. That was Lewis Rees. Not Lewis Rees, my apologies. He was the bowler. It was Alex Hughes out there at long off. So 85 for 4. Give it a good smack.
Yeah, powerful down the ground. That's Brezzy, isn't it?
7 to him. Rees in again. To Bresnan. Wide of off stump this time. Flat pass into the man at extra cover, who's Derbyshire skipper Billy Godleman. Bit of a fumble from him. They got through for 1. So Bresnan on 8. 86 for 4. Yorkshire needing another. I think they need one particularly good partnership here. They've had partnerships of 1, 30, 9 and 35 so far. Here's Rees. Leaning tries to play this across the line from just about outside off stump. There's an appeal for LBW, which is turned down by Ian Gould, and they get a leg by. 87 for 4, 1 left in the 9th, so approaching the halfway stage. Just over and over, Yorkshire still in 121 more runs to win it. And here is Rees again. Wide of off stump, smashed away by Bresnan, but there is a man out there on the cover boundary to do the fielding. That was Finn Hudson-Prentice, so they only get the 1 when it was bound for the Western Terrace. 88 for 4 at the end of the over, 10 off it, better for Yorkshire.
Yeah, that's a better over, and obviously started well with Bresnan striking the ball down the ground for a much needed 4 runs. And it's interesting how that momentum then shifts a little bit more Yorkshire's way. But as you rightly say, Doige, I think that this partnership is crucial in terms of the game. These two have got to take it deep as they possibly can. The clean striking of Bresnan and the manipulating of strike from Leaning.
More leg spin from Critchley then, who's in to Bresnan, steps away to leg, uses the natural turn of the ball, leg to off of course, to hit that away for a single to the man sweeping on the cover boundary. So 89 for 4. Apologies there, I just whacked the microphone on my teeth, as you do. So Leaning 18, Bresnan 10, and Leaning waits. High backlift, poised, uses his feet but can't get it away either side of the man at extra cover, and they've gone for a single, and he's run Tim Bresnan out. He called him for a single, he went straight to the man. Now, dear me, of all the players you want to call for a quick single in the Yorkshire dressing room, Tim Bresnan would not be the man. If you just don't have the natural pace, you ain't going to get there, are you? And he was run out by a mile really in the end, wasn't he? Bresnan's gone, run out for 10, and Yorkshire 89 for 5.
Yeah, that's disappointing for Yorkshire for sure. He's called Bresnan through for the single, and it's not Tattersall, is it? You know, Tattersall probably got there because he's quick, that's part of his game, but it just takes Bresnan a little bit of time to get going, so he's been run out by 2 or 3 yards there. It's disappointing for Yorkshire, disappointing for Bresnan. Yeah, disappointing.
It's given Jack Leaning as the man run out on the board, and it's now given Johnny Tattersall. So I'm not sure what's going on with the scoreboard operation at the moment, but it is definitely Tim Bresnan who's walking off, and Jack Leaning will be sick about that, but Tim Bresnan will be even more sick about it because he's the man who's back in the changing rooms for 10 runs there. And here we go, they've got it right this time. Run out 10, 8 minutes, 7 balls was all he faced, and he hit that one lovely boundary straight back over Louis Rees's head. So Jordan Thompson, next man in now. What a stellar knock he played, despite the fact that the team lost down at Chesterfield. Very clean hitting 50, and he's got his opportunity. I've been suggesting he might have gone in a little bit earlier a couple of times recently, and he hasn't until the last 2 or 3 overs. Well, he's hitting his first ball for a massive 6 over backward square leg. That's the way to play, isn't it? The leg spinner bowling at the left-hander, and right in the slot, Jordan Thompson just again gives Yorkshire a bit of a fillet there, losing too many wickets here for my liking, but then 95 for 5 now with that lusty blow first up by Jordan Thompson, who works this next delivery off his legs for a single this time.
Yeah, it was a lovely strike of the ball, that, wasn't it? Again, textbook. The right arm leg spinner, ball in middle and leg, and Thompson left-hander just picked that one up and swept it into the east arm. It was a great shot, and a player there playing with real confidence. It's another opportunity for Jordan Thompson today.
So full toss this time, turned out into the deep wide of long on by Jack Leaning. Nobody in on the 1 there, so they've got through for an easy 2. He's on to 20, 98 for 5, so the over's gone for 10 already, and there's 1 left in it. Critchley 1 for 14 so far, bowling at Leaning, who's again farmed the fact that there's nobody in on the 1 out to long on and picks up another single. So 21 to him, 7 to Jordan Thompson, 99 for 5 at the halfway stage, at which point Derbyshire were 12 runs short of that, 87, but they'd only lost the 2 wickets.
Yeah, so from a runs perspective, we know at this stage of the game Yorkshire are slightly ahead, 12 runs ahead, but it's the loss of the 5 wickets that's going to be the challenge for Yorkshire, which, you know, puts more of an impetus on this partnership, and this being, if you like, the longest partnership of this innings. It's absolutely crucial that these two take it deep for Yorkshire to give Yorkshire any chance of winning this game here at the Emerald Stadium, Headingley.
So we're going to see another change of bowling by the looks of things. Looks as though Boyd Rankin's going to come back into the attack, but from the Emerald stand end of the ground. So 99 for 5. Yeah, they do desperately need to put together a sizeable partnership here without losing any more wickets. 35, the highest stand in the innings so far. comparison that we just mentioned is now going up on the board. So Jack leaning on strike. There's a pregnant pause because the field is being reshuffled here. 2 men out, backward a square, well, backward a point, and through the covers on the boundary edge, and also a third man there. So that means that there's nobody on the leg side boundary other than up at long on. And this time, first up, leaning, smashes the ball, but straight back to the bowler Boyd Rankin. So a win for the bowler. Dot ball. He's gone for 16 from 7 deliveries so far. Bowled his previous over at this pavilion end of the ground. Sun behind cloud at the moment here at Headingley, but the floodlight's not on. The light's pretty good. Rankin in, and that's a lovely shot by Leaning, who's flicked that off his legs, picked it up on the half volley, and glorious stroke from Yorkshire's batsman. Takes them past the 100, and he's going along quite nicely now, having run out his partner Tim Bresnan. Jack Leaning 27.
Yeah, lovely shot from Leaning, again using the pace of the bowler. Just picked it up and just clipped it over the square leg boundary. It's lovely contact, lovely shot from Leaning.
So Yorkshire 4 balls ahead of what Derbyshire were in bringing up the 100, and Leaning turns his next delivery into mid-wicket for a single. So 28 for him, 106 for 5. But when I say that, of course, it was at that point that Dwan Olivier then went for 32 in an over, which does put a different slant on the way this game is. Now the DLS target, which Yorkshire were in front of for a while, I don't think that'll come into play in terms of the actual weather itself, but it just gives you an idea of whereabouts they need to be. And that's 116 showing on the board at the minute, so Yorkshire 10 behind that, despite the fact that they're in front of what Derbyshire were at the same stage in the knock. And again, that 32 over comes back into play in making that comment. So Jordan Thompson on strike, not out 7, 106 for 5. Short ball down the leg side though, inevitably, as Thompson misses his little flick at it, it's given us a wide.
The pleasing thing for the Yorkshire fans here today, the Yorkshire faithful, is that Leaning and Thompson are both quick between the wickets, similar to what we said about Lean and Tattersall and how they played, and both play a similar way. Both clean ball strikers as well, so while ever these two bat, Yorkshire will have a chance.
Rankin in and smashed down the ground by Thompson. There's a dive from the man at mid-off, but he's not going to get it. And Jordan Thompson with another boundary. Started the innings with a 6 over square leg, and he's smashed that one straight past Boyd Rankin. He's on to 11 now. 1-1-1 for 5 Yorkshire.
It's a great shot that from Thompson, as it just gets on top of the bounce and strikes the ball beautifully down the ground with power, which just beats the despairing dive of mid-off on the edge of the circle.
So Rankin in again. Thompson stands, drops us into the offside, and they're looking for a 1, and we'll get through. Good support from Leaning on this occasion. And Jordan Thompson picks up 1. He's on to a dozen. 112 for 5, and when we look back at that run out, we didn't really get too much chance because things happen so quickly in this form of the game. But Jack Leaning really did drill the ball straight to extra cover and then set off for the run. But you would imagine anybody who's played cricket and been at the non-striking end when that sort of thing has happened, you would be flat-footed naturally. You might have set off in support of your teammate, but you would probably be turning round and offering the bat back towards the crease at the non-striking end, just for safety perspective. Again, it really difficult. Jack Leaning run out next ball. 100 the end of the over.